Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Tom Johnson begins now.
Good evening. First tonight, Tasmania's Delta Shield has once again defended the state from a potential COVID outbreak. 11 crew members on the Spirit of Tasmania testing negative rushed into quarantine after coming into contact with a COVID positive contractor earlier this week.
Another COVID scare averted.
This is a demonstration that systems are working.
11 Tasmanian TT Line crew members identified as close contacts of a COVID positive contractor in Melbourne, all placed into isolation and thankfully testing negative.
They will be quarantined for 14 days with further testing during this time.
I just wanted to stress again that there is no evidence currently of a case in Tasmania. The situation relates to a contract worker who worked in Melbourne.
With the contractor and close contacts all working below deck, the risk to passengers, around 200 across the two ships, is deemed as very low. However, many were inconvenienced, sailings in both directions postponed. The ship from Melbourne left the port before turning around after an hour.
I was in a cabin without a window scenario, so you don't really have any idea of what's going on. The captain got on the radio and said that most of you might be aware that we've turned around.
Only finding out why via social media.
Anybody who's been impacted by COVID has a full refund of their fare, and there's no charges in relation to changing of bookings or moving bookings as well.
The ship's other crew is also being tested.
These crew are not primary contacts, but we are undertaking that testing out of an abundance of caution.
That abundance of caution, today, defended.
If Delta gets loose here, people will die.
This afternoon, 4 crew members in Melbourne were still awaiting their results. Should they be cleared, sailings will be able to resume tonight. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
Victoria is continuing to set case records for its Delta outbreak. Residents have woken up to another 847 positive results, while 1 person has died. Sadly, there were 11 deaths in New South Wales, the youngest in their 40s, as well as 1,007 new cases recorded. The ACT also detected 32 new cases. Busloads of officers and the water police were brought in on the 6th day of protests in Melbourne. Police detained several people in the group of less than 100 on St Kilda Beach. Hundreds of demonstrators also turned out on the Gold Coast, challenging Queensland's hard border policy. In another dramatic twist for Tasmanian Labor, the Health and Community Services Union has disaffiliated itself with the party. In a statement, the union confirmed it has written to Tasmanian Labor State Secretary Stuart Benson informing him of the decision, adding it will always act in the best interests of its members. In a statement, Labor leader Rebecca White said the party will continue to work with affiliated and non-affiliated trade unions. And Tasmanians are beginning to settle in for the match, with thousands expected to watch at pubs and bars across the state. Reporter John Hunt joins us now from the Prince of Wales Hotel in Hobart. John, how's the atmosphere building?
Nobody likes Melbourne or Sydney. It's starting to build quite nicely here, Tom, as fans begin settling in looking for the best spot ahead of the big match. There's a few nervous Demons and Doggies fans around, with Melbourne looking to break a lengthy 57-year premiership drought. Some have been here since late this afternoon, getting settled in ahead of the 7:15 p.m. first bounce. COVID restrictions are in place, with multiple screens set up across the various rooms of the hotel. And Tom, you can catch the big game here on 7 Tasmania straight after the news. I'm off to find a seat now. I think I might struggle at this rate.
I've never seen a reporter more in their element. Thank you very much for that, John. Enjoy the night. Elsewhere, Hobart residents woke to wintry weather this morning, with snow falling to sea level for the first time this year. While it isn't likely to last, the Weather Bureau is warning frosty conditions are on the way across the state tomorrow.
A day of frolicking in the snow was on the cards for many Hobartians, making snowmen and lapping up the winter weather.
When there's snow, we usually come here up the mountain and make different snowmen. It's sticky and you can build stuff.
Ferntree providing plenty of fun for the whole family and even their 4-legged companions.
Just a little bit of a trip in, but we knew it was down pretty low, so we wanted to come and see it before it all melted.
We haven't lived in Tassie that long, so we really wanted to experience the snow.
Many flocking to the tavern to warm up.
We get packed out, people are eating and drinking and having a good time. We've lit the fires outside, cracking fire inside, few snow fights, mulled wine. We love it.
Blankets of white covering Mount Wellington visible from Rosny Hill, and there were similar conditions at the Great Western Tiers, Cradle Mountain and across the northwest.
Parts of Hobart saw snowfall as low as 100 metres overnight, but the Weather Bureau says it's likely we won't see anything similar for the rest of the year.
But Tasmanians are being urged to brace themselves for frosty conditions tomorrow.
It's likely we'll see widespread sub-zero temperatures tomorrow morning and then again potentially on Monday.
Proving it's not time to pack away the winter woolies just yet. Ainsley Kosh, 7 Tasmania News.
A Launceston woman has taken a gruelling trek up the East Tamar Highway to raise money for the Prostate Cancer Foundation. Bernadette Claire Griffiths completing the 25-kilometre run from City Park to Mount Direction as part of the Long Run fundraising campaign.
Recently I've had friends diagnosed with it, but my grandfather also had it. I think I'm driving a few people nuts because every guy I catch up with any time is like, you need to go to the doctor, you need to get into it early because that's the best option.
After finishing her run at the Signal Station Tavern, Bernadette treated herself to a celebratory glass of champagne. Well deserved. While the eyes of the sporting world are today fixated on Perth, it has also been a big day for Tasmania's jigsaw puzzlers. They gathered at Richmond for the state championships, playing for the chance to compete at the Nationals, while also raising funds for a vital local charity.
The fortunes of Melbourne and the Western Bulldogs couldn't be further from the minds of this group. Head over pieces, these jigsaw dynamos were competing against the clock and each other.
Everybody gets the same 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, and there's 18 teams with 2 each, and then it's the first team to complete the puzzle.
Their task, this bench portrait by Jenny Saunders, who was represented at the event by her uncle.
The people were so keen to do the puzzle.
The competition, a grand final of sorts, helping select Tasmania's entrant for the national championships, also attracting a varying field of age and ability.
Some people have actually never done a jigsaw puzzle before, or they haven't teamed with the same person, and some people have been jigsaw puzzlers all their life.
This sister duo from Launceston, the winners, completing it in a quick 1 hour 45 minutes.
Start with the edges, and then Sarah picks out the different colours and sorts them, and
by
then
colour. And
yeah,
then,
she's really good at that.
We can just tell each other to get out of the way if we need to.
The purple combi van also a nod to the occasion. Funds raised today helping support Epilepsy Tasmania.
And all the funds that we receive today will be channelled back directly into our services for Tasmanians.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
State pride was on the line in Hobart today as Tasmania's best young rugby players took on South Australia. Originally, it gave the two states a chance to get together. Under 14s, 16s and 18s taking to the field, with organisers hoping a future Wallaby will be uncovered over the weekend.
Adam Coleman, a Wallaby, he played in the under 14s, under 16s and under 18s for Tasmania. So you never know, we might have another Wallaby out there today.
The series will conclude with an under 18s match tomorrow at 3 o'clock.
Good evening. It was quite a cold start to the day with a top of 14 in Launceston, 13 for Devonport, Burnie reaching 12 and 11 in Hobart. St Helens had the top temperature for the state with 15 degrees, 14 for Friendly Beaches, King Island, Flinders Island, Smithton, Low Head and Strawn all a top of 12, 11 in Ooze and a cold day for Liaweenie with a high of 2 degrees. There's an extensive area of unstable cloud around Tasmania, and Australia-wide cloud extends from South Australia to the southern New South Wales coast. Tomorrow, a high is centred over the Bass Strait, while a low lies over the southwest of WA, and troughs lie through Queensland and inland Western Australia. To the coastal waters, west to southwesterly winds increase up to 20 knots about the south, and the west and south will see a swell reach up to 5 metres. Meanwhile, a frost warning has been issued for northern and eastern central districts. For tomorrow's weather, Hobart a cloudy 15 degrees with some morning frost in Richmond and Ooze, sunny in Launceston reaching 14 and mostly sunny conditions for Devonport and Deloraine. Burnie with a top of 12 and partly cloudy, 13 for Strawn and Curry, and a sunny 14 degrees in St Helens, mostly sunny in Swansea and partly cloudy in Whitemark. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Monday will be fine apart from some light showers about the west. Similar conditions again on Tuesday, and Wednesday will see showers extending statewide. For the rest of Australia, tomorrow will be mostly sunny in Melbourne with a top of 15, similar conditions in Canberra, 18 and a few showers on the way for Sydney, and a shower or two developing in Brisbane, reaching 24 degrees. And looking at our current temperatures, it is 7 in Hobart, 9 for Launceston and 9 as well in Devonport. And it's currently sunny and 24 degrees in Perth and should make for great conditions for the game tonight.